Okay, so I absolutely have to do this. Shit. Okay, so I absolutely have to do this video because, well, this is epic Linux news. Valve has just announced their Steam Deck. And for those of you who do know, I typically don't show blinding white pictures like this, or at least I try not to. But we're going to be viewing this vanilla, how Valve intends the site to look, because, well, this is just absolutely incredible. The Valve new handheld, which we've talked about, like I've talked about with a few other people about it, you know, possibly being something like this, or I'm honestly just speechless because the deal that you get with this console is absolutely incredible. For one thing, this is a console where their pricing and the tiers are amazing. All tiers have got the same performance. It just comes down to the storage and and like how much storage, also the speed of which. Each tier has a smaller amount of storage, and it's also slower or larger and faster as you go up the stack. That is brilliant. It makes it much less confusing when telling people, and it also ensures that you don't have people spend $400 and have a much worse experience than people who spent $500 or $600. It's incredible. It's awesome. It's a freaking switch. Like, let's just look at this thing. Like, so you've got the triggers down at the bottom, got your regular triggers at the top. You have literally a D-pad, buttons, start and everything. You've got two touch pads, thumbsticks, a touch screen. You have every input system. Sorry for slapping the mic. You've got every input, type that you could want on a device. It's actually laid out in a format that makes sense. And all the while, this thing is a fully fledged Linux PC that you can just drop out of essentially big screen or whatever, big picture mode or whatever Steam calls it. Drop out of that, go down to the regular Linux desktop and do whatever you want. And by the way, this is going to come out with SteamOS 3.0, which is an Arch-based distribution of Linux. So I use Arch. I love Arch. It's fantastic. So the fact that SteamOS is Arch-based is cool. Awesome. And yeah, they've been improving shit. So when this thing apparently starts shipping, anti-cheat is going to work. They've been working with vendors to get that done. And like this right here, this text down here is really important. Actual gameplay running on prototype hardware. So this is actually the game. Like this is footage of them recording someone playing with the console. We can check out the hardware here. So this is coming with a custom APU that they've partnered with AMD. Valve has partnered with AMD to produce this APU. It's a Zen 2 and RDNA 2 APU. They call it a powerhouse, but I'm just going to call it an APU. So Zen 2 with a RDNA 2 graphics chip. Awesome. So it's made for, of course, extended play sessions. It's got, a gyroscope in it, which again, probably not everyone, probably most people aren't going to use, but it's there. And apparently you can use it in stuff like Left 4 Dead. I believe that's 2. That may be 1. No, it's Left 4 Dead 2. I think it's Left 4 Dead 2. So that's just interesting. And again, this right here, this is Doom Eternal running on it. And this is, again, on the prototype hardware. And I think it's just the angle that they're recording this at. And it's also of course, sped up a little bit, but it seems like it's blurrier than it would be if it was head on. But either way, you get good. Apparently, this is going to be some good audio. So you get hi-fi audio, a 40 watt-hour battery, and so you can expect to get the maximum battery life of like 7 to 8 hours in smaller 2D games or web browsing. But here's a little extra part. I can't remember where I read this, but apparently if you are to limit the FPS in Portal 2, you can play it maxed out at 5 to 6 hours on this thing, as long as you limit it to 30 FPS. Amazing. Amazing. And the screen on this thing is 1280 by 800, which no one should even scoff at, because as far as I know, the Switch is 720p. I'm pretty sure it's 720p, and it's perfectly fine. Like, perfectly fine. With how small of a screen this is, you do not need something like 1080p. It's just, you just don't need it. It doesn't really make sense. But so at every price tier, you're going to get this Zen 2 4-core 8-thread processor, 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz, and I believe that's essentially like an 8-core RDNA 2. Yep, 8 RDNA 2 cores, or CUs, 1 to 1.6 gigahertz. APU power, it's going to be taking up anywhere between 4 to 15 watts, that's a pretty tight power envelope. That's pretty good. I was expecting that to top out at like 25, but that's pretty nice. 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is exactly what you need, and this is DDR5 RAM. So fast RAM, which is amazing for that APU. Like that, oh, that's how I know this is going to be a fantastic gaming chip. And then you can have a 64 gigabyte eMMC storage, and that's the base tier, which is $400, and you still get a nice case for it, a nice carrying case, which is incredible. A 256 gigabyte NVMe SSD and a 512. And I'll hop over to the actual Stream Deck page, or actually I'll pop over to the Reserve Viewers page so we can check this out. So at $400, you get that 64 gigabyte eMMC storage with a carrying case. For $530, you're going to get a 256 gigabyte NVMe storage drive. And now they've got this labeled faster and fastest because as NVMe drives get more storage, they typically get faster as well. So you are going to get the fastest possible NVMe storage with the $650 version. But let's be honest, the difference between eMMC and NVMe is night and day. The $400 one, I am really interested to see. I almost want to buy the $400 one and save the money to see if I can get by with just the eMMC storage, because I would be interested to see if they've made it to where it's not as slow as other eMMC storage alternatives out there. I would really hope so, but that being said, really, with a device like this, I would assume most people, the performance is what matters. You can deal with loading times, like that's not going to bother you. And yeah, I I mean, wow, I'm still like almost speechless. And with the $530 one, you at least get the exclusive Steam Community Profile bundle, which cool. I don't really know what that means, but don't really care too much. At the $650 version, you're going to get the premium anti-glare edged glass, which, I mean, I don't, to some people that might matter. I don't think, to me, that's not really that big of a deal. Like, I'm normally gonna be in a pretty, if I'm playing games on the device on the go, it's probably gonna be in somewhere where I can handle like the light. It's probably not going to be outside or anything like that, or sitting right next to a window. Like, I'm never really playing games in a car, or if I am, they have stuff where I can block out light. It's really not that big of a deal. Um, but you still get the carrying case, the profile bundle, and then you also get an exclusive virtual keyboard theme, which cool. I don't know that that's again a really big selling point, but when you're spending $650 on a console, you get some bang for your buck. But again, this is a portable console that is a full PC that is no joke. Like, you could stream from this. You could do everything that I do on my laptop on this device, and it's cheaper than my laptop. Buy this. Don't buy a laptop. Buy this. You can hook up mechanical keyboards, mouse, anything. My trackball mouse is going to work on it, just no problem. I just clicked on the screen for no reason, but this mouse works on it, no problem. I could plug it in like through a hub and use my Blue Yeti microphone and record using this webcam, do everything on it. And it comes with KDE Plasma as its built-in desktop environment, which I'm all for. I'm not a big KDE Plasma dude, but Plasma is a fine desktop environment. For most people, they're probably going to love it because, I mean, most people who buy this console and don't even know that it's a full Linux computer, when they drop into KDE, they're going to be like, whoa, like, wow. I mean, if somebody who, I think this is an incredible device, because there are going to be so many people who get it just for gaming and then realize just how much they can do. And you will be able to open and render stuff in Blender. You can install the Unity game engine, Godot, anything on this device. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it. Just pick the only challenge you have now is just figuring out which tier you're going to buy. This is amazing. Valve, man, do they come out swinging. This is incredible. So I'm going to be purchasing one of these bad boys. I still don't know at which tier I'm going to purchase that. It's either going to be the $400 or the $530 tier. But I know for one thing, as soon as this thing goes up for reservations, I'm reserving one. I think if you don't reserve one of these, you're going to have a hard time getting your hands on one. So to be honest, I'd highly recommend reserving it. So you can be ready, because it's going to start shipping out in December. And yeah, I want one very bad. This is an incredible deal. It's an incredible device. This is what people talk about when it comes to convergence. This is really, this is it. This is it. So let me know what you think of this console down in the comments below. And if you like the video, please hit that like button and consider checking me out. I got a few links down in the description. You can head on over to Odyssey. All my videos are hosted over there as well, and it's quite frankly a better platform than YouTube, so definitely check it out. And I'm also developing a game for Linux. The cool and interesting part is next year the game, if it hasn't been fully released at that point, could be getting developed on this. But yeah. So also another thing that I will go ahead and say, I was just going to do this as part of the announcement, but if you're watching this far into the video, I'll just go ahead and let you know this. The game, it's getting converted to be a full open source project, so that's pretty epic. Yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. It's being transferred over into Godot. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.